Well, Steve, looks like we're stepping back in to the motherland.
The moment you meet up with Tito at the outcast camp. Good luck. And try not to get killed.
Steve, we did it. We came back to Ghost Recon Breakpoint. I honestly thought we were done. And then Ubisoft announced the Motherland DLC, which is completely free, to be honest. So that's a bonus right there. And I gotta be honest, dude, coming back, when I left initially, I'm like, I'm done. I'm never coming back to this game. You jumped in, you're like, Drew, they fixed a lot of things here. You might want to check it out. I jumped in. Oh man, I am so hooked. It is ridiculous how hooked I became with the Motherland DLC. What a step up. Ubisoft had some rocky points at launch to the point where it broke me, right? It really did kind of break me. I loved Wildlands. I thought Wildlands was a fantastic game. Breakpoint had so many issues at launch, mid-release, after release, post-release, this, that, and the other. Man, time goes on, and I guess it kind of heals all wounds because Motherland is the pivotal point of its return for me. And it gave me that sense of feeling of Wildlands. I think that's the biggest bonus for me, is I thought, dude, this really feels like I'm playing Wildlands once again. This is fantastic. Steve, I'm having a great time, but I do have some complaints we'll get to. But how did you feel about Motherlands?
Well, to be honest with you, I've always loved Ghost Recon Breakpoint. It's one of those ones that you probably see I put a lot of hours into it.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, it got to the point now I've done all the missions and I'm now just going back and picking off like faction missions and just picking up gun parts.
Sure.
Just to sort of get maybe the achievement thing, I don't know. And then when we sort of saw about the Motherland I thought, okay, am I going to lose all progress from the first one?
Yeah.
But I love the way you can actually bounce between the two. So I went into Motherland and I did know, because I read a bit more about it, this big DLC fixed a lot of issues from the base game.
Yep.
And I have to say, it felt like a completely different game. Still the same game, but different. And I actually loved it. It did draw me straight back in.
It's different than the fact that, honestly, like I laugh about it, but dude, it's different because it's polished. Right?
Yeah.
That's what it is. For me, now it's polished. I remember at one point prior to this DLC, when I would zoom in with my drone, all of a sudden the whole building would just pop out of nowhere and pop in. I was like,
Yeah.
that wasn't even there. And all of a sudden, boom, there it is. And you zoom back out with your drone and then it's gone. And I'm like, wow, you gotta be kidding me. And that's kind of where I was like, this is it. I'm done. Like, I don't think I'll ever come back. And then we had the Sam Fisher DLC. I was like, after that, 30 seconds of Sam Fisher? No, I'm out. And then, yeah, Motherland gives me that sense of feeling. What's going on here in the story, though, Steve, I think is one of the biggest things. It's a mystery of what's up with the Russians coming in and the Bodarks are in. Dude, there's a lot going on in this DLC. They basically, in a sense, remade a whole game for the DLC. Island. Yeah, of this island, right? So they have their foundation. I think that's what it is, really. Is that they have their foundation and they built a new story, fixed all the bugs. And like you said, you can go in and select the Motherland DLC. And it doesn't interfere, right, with the other ones, the Amber one with all the gas that's across the island.
Amber
because
Sky,
that was Amber Sky DLC. And then they had other ones you can pick and choose, right? And then you get into this one. They revamped the weapons, the mission structure. The biggest problem with my mission structure scenarios that I'm running into, Steve, is that it's timed. Dude, this is a big island, and they sprawl these checkpoints. So you'll get your mission. Dude, Karen Bowman is back too. There's a highlight for you. Man, what a sultry voice. I just love Karen's voice. It's also a good friend of ours from the show. Check out Jane Perry. She's fantastic. But either way, moving past that is getting back to the mission structure. You get your information from Karen is what you have to do in that region, right? From there, it pops out. Boom, you got this to do, this to do, this to do. Okay, you set off to objective 1. Objective 1 all of a sudden pops up. You now have 3 things you got to take out, but you have 10 minutes to do it. So I got 2 kilometers to go this way. I have 4 kilometers now to go that way, and another 2 to go that way. And if it's in a no-fly zone, you're zipping around from fast travel to fast travel. And that's the irritating part. I failed a mission today because of it was timed. I was making my way over. Dude, and you know the island, right? Everybody's patrolling the island. So I got nailed by a patrol. And I didn't have enough time then to get over to where I needed to be because I got nabbed by patrol moving about, which is
Yeah.
a part of the game. That's the experience in a sense. But these structures, to me, a lot of these timed missions don't need to be timed whatsoever.
No, I found what I did was when I sort of got my base camp, I kind of got a vehicle, and it's kind of like speed running. I was taking shortcuts across areas just to get to that point, and then just basically just get in there because you don't have time to pick off the people. You got to get there, get the intel, and get out to the next part or take a photograph. Because that's a new thing I've noticed now is taking pictures of things for intel, which I was pretty cool. I did find it reminded me a bit like the Division, this Motherland, a way of cleaning up areas to liberate the people, kill off the lieutenants, to clear that section up, and then move on to the next one.
Sure.
Because there's 4 parts to each section, and the 4th part is obviously the lieutenant they have to take out. But it could be anything from destroying vehicles or taking a vehicle and dropping off at a certain point. Again, intel downloading off a server or things like that. But it definitely seemed a lot... the whole gameplay was a lot smoother. And like you said, it's a lot polished. I found dismantling weapons was a lot quicker. A lot quicker as well now. They've tweaked a lot of the stuff, which was I found infuriating or time consuming. Because it takes a lot of time to dismantle all those weapons that you don't realise you've collected throughout the game. The other thing as well that they've added is the skill system. What is like, because you've now got like the camo.
Yeah, your optical camo is back, which is great to have, right? That was in the original. Now it's back. The enemies themselves have it as well. But dude, you have to go and search these camo points, right? So they're in a loot crate. You get gear, you get your points, you get your camo points to then upgrade the optical camo gear, which is a grind. They did not make that easy. So then I spent half my time just looking at the map to find where the camo crates are so I can go and upgrade my camo. I've almost got tier 1 maxed out. Almost moved on to the second one. Dude, it is a blast. I'm glad to be back. I didn't think I would ever come back to this game. It is definitely one of the highlights and definitely the big surprise coming out of Ubisoft this year. Yeah,
I'm only a little bit concerned is what could they add next, or is this kind of going to be like the end game of once this is done, that's it? Because,
maybe.
Yeah, I mean, what else could you add? Because it's still the kind of same principle through the hundreds of hours that you put in.
Yes.
Get from point A to B, take out, clear the whole area, and then sort of move on to the next one. So what they could add, I'll be interested to see on this. Who knows? They might even bring out another brand new Ghost Recon game. Who knows these days?
I'll get a better look at the area.
Steve, I think this is a bit of a surprise for both of us. We're glad to be back in and enjoying our time with the Motherland DLC out of Breakpoint. Man, I never thought I'd say that. You gotta be honest. But I'm having a great time, and for me, this DLC fixed everything I was concerned about and then some. It also puts me there with an 8. How about you?
I've always, like we said before, I've always loved this game. I think the tweaks and everything else, it's definitely improved the immersion of the game, which I loved about it. So I'm giving this one a 9.
Nice.
Heads up, bad guy over there. Roger, moving to target. Target identified.
Ghost Recon Motherland free DLC brings a new story and conquest missions to the game. With a lot of bugs and glitches fixed, makes it feel like a new game and finally polished. With a new skill point system and a new optical camo skill to add to your inventory, brings a fresh take on the Ghost Recon Breakpoint.